Release the Kraken!
Yarrdeharr, Yarties, and welcome back to another map making episode on the mobacraft map. So, before we start with the respawning system, I have a few things I want to say. The first and most important is that Mr. Shane Skull, his YouTube name is Shane Skull, so I'm gonna call him Mr. Shane Skull, has improved upon our respawning system, which means that it is now stable enough to use, or it is stable, so we can use it. Which if I haven't said it, I had removed the recall system completely, just completely removed it, because it wasn't stable enough and it was teleporting people that did not wish to be teleported. So I had to remove it. And it now works, thanks to Mr. Shane Skull. So there's an annotation on the screen right now. I want you to click it and go show him some love for saving the recalling system on this map with this very, very neat improvement. It's a really nice way of improving this, and it works. It works really well. It's really good, and I like it. It's to my liking. It's a very simple yet advanced in its own way. It's using the way or in the order that the game processes one tick to use a delay. It's pretty advanced if you want to understand exactly why this delay works, even though everything happens in the same tick. So this happens first and then this happens, yet it's still in the same tick because of the way the game computes one tick. Pretty awesome, so go check him out and give him some love from all of us. The second thing I want to say before we start is that I am really happy that you like these videos, but posting when will the next map making video be released on my other videos that actually, which some of them actually don't even have to do with Minecraft at all. That is not really necessary, though I'm really happy that you do enjoy the videos so much that you want them to be released every second of the day. I can't release them every second of the day. This is a really advanced system that I've been working on for a while, and that's why it's been taking so long. Also, I've been really stuck with Space Engineers just because it's such a fun game. And it's new, so I want to play it. And yeah, so those things combined had made it take quite a while for this to be released. But anyway, there's no point in asking on my other videos when the next video is going to be released. You can come back if you have to ask me when the next one is coming up, which isn't actually going to change when it's being released. Go back to the latest map making video and ask when are you going to release the next episode. And if someone already says have asked, there is no point in asking again. Just so you know, so if you would do that, I would appreciate it a lot. So thank you. And the last thing is that I'm not going to go in depth on this system because it is really advanced. I'm not going to show you every single command block and exactly what they do and how they do it. I'm going to explain what they do, not how they do it, as I usually do, which I do with regrets, because that's not how I like to make these videos. I like to explain how it works more than that it works, if that's a good way to explain it. So I'm going to try to explain what they do and kind of how it works, but not as in depth as I usually do. So anyway, let's get started. So first of all, I want to show you how the system works overall. So if you're playing the map, how are you being respawned, what is happening to you, and stuff like that. Now, it is dependent. The core features of this is that you will be put into spectator mode. So, game mode 1, let's just do that. So you will be put into spectator mode, and you will be put up here. And you won't be able to move, even though you're in spectator mode. You will be locked in position right here. You will be able to move around and look at stuff, but not move. So moving is out of the question. So you will be immobilized, you will have vision of your base not too far off, and as you can see on the right hand side, the time is ticking. So the time is how long the map has been on, and this is not what's going to be shown in the game, of course. The gold is still going to be what is shown in the game. So let me actually scoreboard, objectives, set display, sidebar, gold. So there we go. And now that time is still ticking in the background. So what I'm gonna do is actually just to make things easier to see, is time spent 800. Nope. Time spent time. So I'll explain a little bit of why that works in a second. But now I'm going to do a /kill. So I die. And I want you to pay very much attention to what's happening. I'm going to respawn below the map in a box. And in the box I'm going to be put into spectator mode. I'm going to be then teleported back here. And on the right hand side you will see that the gold will switch to respawn and my name will change color. So when I press this respawn, you will see this. It's really fast, but you will see that the gold is, I can no longer see my gold, and the my name is yellow because I'm in another team now and I can't move, but I'm in spectator mode. But I can't move. So no moving allowed at all. And you can see on the right hand side that the time is ticking down. Now when the time reaches 0, I'll be put back into another box and then I'll be put back over there. So we'll see that. So 3, 2, 1, back in red team. I can see my gold and we are back at base. So that is what happens. So game mode 1. Let's take a sword, and that's what happens in game. So you see what happens, and I can explain the redstone easier now. But what I'll do is I'll reset the map by killing the things, and once I've done that, I'll bring you back to the redstoning, which is over there or there somewhere. So back over at the redstone, I quickly want to show you the objectives that I'm using. I'm using time, as you saw before, that has a player called time spent. And more about that soon. So time is the amount of time the game has been running, or the match has been running, in seconds. I am using respawn, which is the amount of seconds it will take for you to respawn. So the amount of time that you will stay dead. After that time is over, you will be put back in your base alive. And the dead is the last objective right here. And it is being used to tell the redstone if you are alive or dead. Or rather, to let the redstone test if you are considered a alive or a dead player. So over here we have the core, which is a 1 second clock right here. These 6 blocks right here. Comparator, redstone, blah blah blah, tick around. So this is a 1 second clock. And what it's doing is it's adding 1 point to the times on the time score to a fictional player called Time Spent. So it's important that it's a fictional character, so that we are not adding it to specific players, because that wouldn't work out in the long run. Now, the thing we're using with this scoreboard is, depending on how much time has passed, so if I do this, you will see that first this is on. So let me do this. So the time goes faster. So now the time goes 10 times as fast. And we should see after a while that this one should turn on. And this should turn off. So they should switch over to there. And there we go. So the way this works is that this command block is testing if the time is between 0 and 120 seconds. So that's between 0 and 2 minutes of the game played. And if that is true, this clock will run. This one is testing if the time spent is between 2 minutes and 4 minutes. So, and then it will do the same, the clock will run. And this is between 4 minutes and 6 minutes. So what happens is that each of these command blocks will be activated for 2 minutes, and then it will go to the next one. And that is the core of the idea. So every 2 minutes, something happens, or a state changes, and the state being is the respawn timer. So in the first 2 minutes of the game, everyone's respawn timer is 5 seconds. When 2 minutes of the game has passed, it changes to 10 seconds. When 4 minutes have passed, it changes to 15 seconds. So on, and so on, so on, until we reach 100 seconds, which is the cap for now. It might change, but I'm thinking if you are dead for 100 seconds, that's enough time to win the game. The other team can win the game if you're dead for 100 seconds. That's kind of a long time. Anyway, so that is determining how long you are dead. Now, these scores are only added to players that are considered alive. So if you're dead, your respawn score isn't being affected by this system at all. Instead, it's being affected of this smaller system right here. Now, what this does is, if you are dead, it ticks down on your score. So if you had 20, your score was 20 on your respawn score, it would start ticking away one score every second. So 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, etc., etc. And it will keep doing that until it reaches 0. Once it reaches 0, it will, if you are dead and your respawn score is 0, it's going to teleport you to the respawn box, and it's going to set your game mode to 2, so to adventure mode. And yes, that is what happens. So to show you the respawn box, I also have to show you the death box first. So this is the death box. When you die in the game and you click the respawn button, you will have your respawn set to inside this tube. You will fall onto this pressure plate. The first thing that happens is that it says to everyone around you that you have died. The second thing that happens is that it puts you into spectator mode. So those are the first things that happen. Second thing that happens is that it sets your dead score to 1. So it's telling the entire redstone system that you have died. And after that, if you are on the red team, it teleports you to the red base, and if you are a blue team, it teleports you to the blue base. Now the respawn system, where you get teleported when your respawn timer reaches 0, does the complete opposite. This is not needed. It sets you to game mode 2, and teleports you here when the respawn timer reaches 0, so that you are in game mode 2, so that you can activate the pressure plate. Because if you're in spectator mode, you won't activate the pressure plate at all. You will just be there. So anyway, you're in game mode, adventure mode, so you're ready to go back into the game. Some things are wrong. We have to tell everyone that you have respawned. And we have to tell the redstone system that you are alive. So it detects, it says, it turns your dead score to 0, which in the redstone system means that you are alive. Another thing that happens is once it has detected that you are alive, it is going to send you back to your base, depending on you if you're on the red or the blue team. Another important thing to mention with the death box is it will only teleport you back to your respawn or your death box if the system has determined that you are dead. So the system has to know that you are dead before it teleports you to your designated "I am dead but I am spectating for now" box. So once you get teleported to that place, you are in spectator mode. You're above the ground, above the nexus. So this command block looks above the nexus for a player that is in spectator mode, and it continuously. So this is a super fast clock running right here. So I just used that clock for the Shane Skull's recall system. I used that clock to have a really fast teleporting that teleports you to the same block all the time, so you can't move. But since they have improved the teleport system, you can still look around, which is really nice. So that's the way that works, so you can't move around. Another thing that happens is, as you could see, our... Hello? What's going on? Come on, there. Our sidebar score, our objective on the sidebar is being changed, and our team is actually changed. So what they added in the latest snapshot, if you didn't know, is actually objectives, set display, sidebar, and there are multiple sidebars. So the sidebar for Team Black, for Team Dark Blue, Dark Green, Dark Aqua. So every team can have their own sidebar objective, and I'm using that here. So what I'm doing, when someone is dead and have a respawn timer of at least 4, yes, I am setting their team to the team dead. So there's a third team, and the team is called dead. That's where the dead players live, or they have their teams. Their teams are the dead team, and their team has this scoreboard on the right that it's always set to show how long you have until you respawn. Now, once the respawn reaches 1, so when you have 1 second left before you get teleported and put back into the match, it detects where you are. So if you are above the blue base and you are dead and you're about to respawn, so there's few things that happens here. If you are above the red base right here, you're dead and your respawn is 1. So if you're 1 second away from being respawned, it's going to put you back into the red team. And the same here, but with the blue team. So if you're above the blue team's base and you are dead and you have 1 second left until you respawn, it puts you back into the blue team. And once your respawn reaches 0 again, this kicks in. It teleports you to the respawn box. So if you follow here, puts you in the respawn box, which is over here. And over here, since you are on the red team, it can teleport you back to the red base. And since you are on the blue team, it can teleport you back to the blue base. And that's how the respawn system works. So that is the respawn system explained in the easiest manner I could figure out. There are actually some parts left. So when this, there is a redstone block here that is being placed when the game starts. When the map is reset, it stops. It removes the block. It turns on this redstone dust. And it resets the time for everyone, even the ones that are not. And this star means that it will reset the time for everyone that is stored within the time objective. So that means that our fake time spent player is going to be reset as well. After that, this monostable circuit is triggered, which I'm actually going to add a little bit of delay to because it's a little bit fast. So after a few ticks, it's going to send a pulse to this entire system, and what it's going to do is, since the time has been reset, it's going to stop whichever clock is running. So once the map has been reset, all the clocks have been turned off, and that is just to make sure that when the map is off, there is nothing running whatsoever. And those are the other two small additions that I wanted to make. Otherwise, I believe I have explained everything. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. And please remember to check out Shane Skull, and to, if you are wondering when the next episode is coming up, to leave it in the comment of this video and not on the other videos, because they don't belong there. They belong here. Otherwise, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like and share, and I shall see you next time.